everybody, Trina here from Trina's Treasure Chest. Thanks for joining me. I'm just dying because my treasure chest here has been calling my name all week and I'm just dying to pick something. So let me just show you what I got. So this little photograph, this large photograph, another cabinet card, and a letter. So which one shall we choose first? Attracted to this one. Okay, so what information do we have? So first of all, let's look at it is a little boy. Quite a nice pose there. Very professional. What year do we have? 1910. So the name on it is Desmond VACHELLE TIFFIN Koelle. Desmond, it's a little bit hard to read. VACHELLE PHILPOT TIFFIN, I believe that's Koelle. Aged 5 years, 9 months, June 1910. Okay, and the photographer, this is in Montreal. Okay, so let's get started on this little guy. Start here. Desmond. I'm not going to put on all those names because that's just too many. I'm going to put VACHELLE, TIFFIN, and Koelle. All right, first thing that comes up is his baptismal record. Desmond VACHELLE PHILPOT TIFFIN, son of Herman Harvey VACHELLE Koelle and of Eliza Sarah TIFFIN, his wife. Oh, wait, so TIFFIN was the mother's surname and Koelle is the father's surname. Both of the city of Montreal. Was born on the 25th day of November, 1904. He was baptized on the 10th of February, 1905. So let's go and find out more about his family. Just want to see who this person is that took a ship here in 1906. A Leitrim Koelle and a Desmond Koelle. And Desmond, I just want to see what this column is between 1 and 12 years old. So it kind of adds up, doesn't it? So what would he have been doing traveling from New York, born in Canada? Herman H. VACHELLE. H.H. VACHELLE. Who's Leitrim? Leitrim is another child. Who's this? Rosie Sluler? So this is in 1905. Desmond VACHELLE, son of Herman Harvey H.H. VACHELLE Koelle and of Eliza Sarah TIFFIN, his wife. Coming from New York to London. Who is this Rosie? I can't read that. Schuler? Well, it's not his wife, obviously, because his last name different. Yes, I think that's him because there's another record here of Desmond, age 4, born 1904, leaving Quebec and arriving in Liverpool in 1908 on the Empress of Ireland. See who all went. Herman Harvey Koelle, Leitrim, Desmond. So I don't see a wife here unless, no. So what, I mean, was his wife in England at the time? I don't know. Okay, so in 1908 they traveled to Liverpool. Okay, what else can we find about this little boy? So in 1908 they went to England. It looks like they left England in 1910 on the Corsican and arrived in St. John, Canada, in Halifax. In 1910, back to Canada. So let's see why. And is there a wife? Okay. Mrs. Koelle and Master Desmond. Is that Mrs. Koelle or is that female? So that is a Mrs. Mrs. and son come back in 1910 to Halifax. So far it looks really interesting because they're all over the place, right? Okay, I just found this. So this is Dad, and he was born in 66. It says he's married. This is in 1913. It's a very nice timeline, actually. Canadian citizen. Not much else about him. Okay, so in 1913, he left Hamburg, Germany, and arrived in New York. There's a name here. Here's a notarial record from 1911. This looks interesting. I like this juicy stuff. Let's see what's going on here. Transfer by John George Scroggs something to Herman Harvey VACHELLE Koelle. One copy of Merchant's book. So it's a transfer. Transfer what? I'm not sure. Something was transferred. Oh, so that doesn't tell us much. Here's another notarial record in Montreal. Quittance in 1914. There's a lot of notarial records that have him. So this tells me a few things. He was heavily involved in different aspects of the society. So transfer of mortgages, transfer of deeds possibly, lots of administrative stuff, financial stuff probably in these notarial records. So just my gut is that he was maybe a successful man or a prominent man in his community, maybe well known. But that's just a gut feeling anyways. Okay, here's something. A non-Catholic marriage. So I found their marriage record. So this is good. They married in 1895 in Montreal. Anglican. And her maiden name was Woods. So she went by Lila. Eliza Sarah Lila. Lila is probably a little nickname replacing Eliza. Probably. She died in Montreal at the age of 71. Whenever I go to this find a grave, I usually leave a flower for every person that I find, just out of respect. Just, I don't know, I just feel like it's respectful, and when you die, you get forgotten. I mean, you eventually get forgotten. Now, the father, Harvey, died in 1945. Montreal. I want to know their occupations. So let's go to a census record, shall we? It's always kind of fun to guess what their occupation might be, just based on their activities. Because of the traveling, I'm going to guess that Dad was somehow involved in the military or the Canadian Army or maybe something like that. Herman Harvey Koelle, born in 1866 in Istanbul, Turkey. Here's Leitrim and Desmond. But I want to know their occupation. So his mother was in England at one time. Ah, here's Rosina Sharona. That's the woman that was with him on the ship that I thought was his wife, but isn't. Obviously, it's his sister. So they were traveling back and forth to England, probably to visit Mom. I'm gonna go dig around some more, and then I'm gonna wrap up this one and get to the next one. Eliza. Okay. What about Desmond? How many census records for these guys? Okay, where did they live? What about Leitrim? And then I'm out of names. Here he is, and he served in the war. He was born quite a few years before, well, 8 years before Desmond was. Let's hope there's some good records for Leitrim that talk about his father. Okay. They were living in California in 1896. It's interesting. First census record I find with father in it. So let's see what they are doing. Yes, this is them. This is him, 66, born in Turkey. I want to know what he did for a living. Occupation is capitalist. Capitalist. Okay. Someone who provides capital or invests in others' firms. All right, he had money. I'm pretty sure he had money. Let's face it, these photographs, this is a big one. This is a large, heavy, good quality photograph. That was not cheap in those days. So he traveled all over the place. Also could mean people that have income primarily generated by rental property or loans, but also from stocks, bonds, or other investments. I had a feeling he was different. He had something about him. Okay. Now that I found out his occupation, I think that's a wrap. So, this is one I chose. And it says Clarence Brady. And the photographer, I know it's really small, but it's Murray and Son, Brockville. All I have is a name. I don't have a year or anything, so I'm just going to do a basic search on Ancestry to see if we can find anything at all. I believe that's an Irish name. Brockville, Ontario, and I don't have a birth year. I have a feeling this one's going to be tough. I think because Brockville is centered between Ottawa, Kingston. A lot of people, I just don't think, I can't say they didn't settle there, but Brockville, I mean, a transition town, I see it as. People went there, did business, left there, and it's also on the river. Which river is that? I don't see anything. Like I see Ottawa, which is close to Brockville, Fort William. Maybe if I look at the photographer, I'm going to Google the photographer and see what year we're talking here. Murray and Son, photographer, Brockville. 1880s, 1890s. Usually I don't go right to the family trees, but in this case, I'm not finding anything. There's just too many and none that are in Brockville. So I'm going to try census records. Let's try the 90s, 91. But with these records, I mean, sometimes they traveled around so much that they literally just stayed in town for a photographer. And there's also traveling photographers too. So this could be him, but he may have traveled to, I don't know, like let's say Kingston, or even the client may have traveled to Brockville from a maybe a more rural location. So maybe it wasn't like listed under Brockville, but you'd have to go and look at the region. So in 1890, I can't see anything for Clarence Brady. Let's try early 1900s. What would be really handy right now is a city directory. Let's look at 1910. No, nothing is popping up. If anyone sees this video and they know a Clarence Brady and their family who may have had their picture taken in Brockville, just contact me at ancestrallegends@gmail.com. Okay, let's move on to another picture. It's this one. So this looks, it's not a cabinet card or anything. It's just a flimsy, it's probably, I don't know, I'd say anywhere between 40s and 60s, even 70s. So here are the names at the back. Peg Kelly, Hazel Newell, Doris COLDBECK, Jenny LIDGATE, Catherine BURKE, Laura HOSKINEN, and there's no year. So this one I probably won't be able to find anything on Ancestry because it's a recent photo, and the records, public records anyways, won't be, I don't think they would be in there. So, and if they are, they would be in a family tree that somebody made, and they probably made it private. So I will put the names, there's a whole list of names in the description. If anyone is related, they can contact me. So now we're gonna go do the last one. It's a letter. Charles Warshilek. Sounds Polish, possibly. So it was postmarked Hershey, Pennsylvania in 43 or 13? 43. 43. Charles Warshilek lived at 2224 Venango Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And this letter was written from Florence. Okay. Dear Charlie, just received your letter. And I am so very sorry I caused you so much unhappiness. Until I get over being squirrely, I don't intend to marry anyone. But if I ever do, I can't imagine marrying anyone but you. You have been so patient with me, and I hope someday I'll be able to make you happy, but I know I'm not ready yet. I'm going to stand on my own feet first, and when I pay you back, and I am entirely out of debt, I can be sure I'll be marrying you for love and not security. It's a pretty juicy letter. Besides, it is a good tasting a little freedom and paying your own way. I like being independent and coming and going as I like. When I am ready to settle down for good, it will be up to you. Maybe I'm just not the type to settle down. I'm as changeable as the weather, and that is why I'm afraid to make any important steps at all. When I'm sure of myself, I'll do something about it. Just now I'm standing put. Caddy and I are coming up in a couple of weeks. We would like to have you come up to the house when we do. Or when I come up again, I'll let you know. You will just have to take me as I am, Charles. Undependable, changeable, and selfish. Or not at all. And you would be much better off if you just forgot about me. I can't make anyone happy anymore than my mother can. It is just one of those things. I'll be up to see you though someday soon. Take good care of yourself and try to be happy. Florence. Poor Charles. Eesh. Anyway, so there you go. Let's Google him. Charles Warshilek. Okay, here's an obituary from Hershey, and this was postmarked Hershey, Pennsylvania. So let's see. Maybe it's the same guy. Wait, look at. He was the widower of Florence L. Warshilek. Florence is the one that wrote this letter. So they ended up together. That's a happy story. That's a happy ending. Wow. Born in 1904. He was the widower of Florence L. Warshilek, who died in 99. So they were survived by stepdaughters, Susan Berg of Crown Point, Indiana, Victoria Zeller of Indiana, and 8 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren. And here's Florence's tombstone. With the U.S. Army, World War II. She served. Okay, so that was a success. So I am sure that there's people out there that would like this, that I'm probably one of the grandchildren or great-grandchildren. You can contact me at ancestrallegends@gmail.com, and if you'd like the letter, just email me, and I can see. I sell them, but not very expensive. It's just to make sure that the only reason I sell them is so that not everybody asks me for it and gets free stuff when they're not even related, you know? So I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. Which one was your favorite? This one was a nice ending. This one was nice picture, but couldn't find anything. And this one was really interesting. Okay, so yeah, if you are interested in a live wine and chat where I pick something from my treasure box here, and you guys do the research and I just sit here and drink wine. No, I'm just joking. We can all research together and discuss and see whatever I know there's amateurs out there, there's professional genealogists, there's people that are wanting to try it on Ancestry. So just let me know in the comments below if you're interested, and I will set something up. Okay, bye.